you know what this video is about. You were there in 2022 when we saw Omega and Swatch, two darlings of the watch community, come together and collaborate to create something so interesting, so controversial. It was able to pierce through the noise and the veils of the watch community, of the watch forums, and into the mainstream of culture and fashion. You saw the lines that took place all around the world lining up for these watches as if they were some rare sneakers or something. And if you're anything like me, you purchased one of these watches. Today we're talking about the Omega Swatch, Moonswatch, 2 years later, featuring my Mission to the Sun from 2022. In this video, we're going to go through my experience as one of the original purchasers and collectors of the Moonswatch since the summer of 2022. We're going to go through not just why I purchased it, but my experience in purchasing it. We're also going to chat through how it's held up for the past 2 years for me, what I use it for, what it's gone through. Besides that, I also want to chat through the future of the Moonswatch. What does the future of the Moonswatch line look like? What does it look like in terms of desirability, of collectability, of affordability? Does it make sense to still purchase one in the year 2024? All that and more in this video. So why did I purchase my Moonswatch? Well, I have a cousin who has a Moonwatch, not a Swatch, but a Moonwatch, the actual thing, from Omega, the Speedmaster. And I've tried it on a few times. It's pretty nice. I wear it quite well, but it is expensive. Other thing besides that is that, it's a very popular piece. It's iconic, but it's very popular. If you go to a watch meetup, there's a good chance you'll see one, and you can try it on there. So in my thinking, in my purchasing of one, I did enjoy the history of it, the pedigree of what it represents, having been on the moon and whatnot. I liked how the Moonswatch is a one-to-one creation of it, meaning the dimensions are all the same, besides the strap that is. But for what it stands for, I thought this was a very fun and playful marketing tactic to really democratize the Moonswatch or the Moonwatch to a larger audience, and to do so in a fun way, a way that evoked fun, not necessarily luxury, but fun. And that's the real difference here. I think about the iPhone lines, like there's the Pro lineup and the regular lineup. The Pro lines are the luxury lines. And those are the ones that, they're black, they're white, they're silver, some other color of the year, relatively muted. But then you have the funner iPhone lines, like the 5C or just the iPhone, what I use, which is, the iPhone, I think it's the 11, I can't even remember. But, you'll notice that they're fun. These evoke fun. There's a certain level of quality to them as well, but they evoke fun. Not necessarily luxury, although the brand name Apple is quite luxurious itself. But that's why I got one. It was a fun way to explore my watch hobby, while also, playing homage to a very, very historic, iconic piece of watch history here. In terms of the story about my Moonswatch, I purchased mine the summer of 2022 during August. That was the month that I had turned 24. So in the summer of 22 being a lucky number of mine, I turned 24 also being a lucky number of mine. There was already a bit of luck involved with how I purchased it. I was in Miami for my birthday on a vacation just to, see the sun, see the waves, do some swimming. I had actually brought my Casio Royale to that trip and brought it into the ocean where, to great amusement to both me and the fish, we had a great time. But during this trip, this was the summer of the Moonswatch when people were all over it. I didn't even realize there was a Swatch boutique in Miami until I was about to leave. And when I was about to leave, I went to there and, I explained to them my story about how I was interested in a Moonswatch. Not just any Moonswatch, by the way. I was really only interested in the Mission to the Sun. The reasons being is, yellow is a very favorite color of mine, as you can tell by my phone and my shirt and my watch. But also, it represents something with my birth month. August is the month of the sun. It's also, in astrology terms, it's the Leo sign, which is a fire sign, which is, fire is related to the sun. And it's got a beautiful sunburst dial on it. So this was really just the one I was looking for. When I told my story to the Swatch Boutique in Miami, I let them know how I was only here for the week. I was turning 24. I was looking for the mission to the sun to match my birthday. They said they had something in the back and to stay put. 5 minutes later, the lady, very nice lady, comes out with a little box saying mission to the sun. I purchased it right then and there, brought it home, and I've been using it quite often ever since. And since I've purchased it in Miami, in the past 2 years, I've brought this watch with me everywhere, doing everything. It's gone with me on my jogs, on my sprints, and my swimming sessions, and my sauna sessions, when I'm biking, on the trail, off trail, on my travels, I bring it with me as well. So in 2 years, I'm very proud of the memories and experience I've been able to have with this watch on. And I'm sure for the next 2 years plus, I'll have many more stories to share with this watch on. That being said, it has had some wear and tear. The crystal itself is fine, the acrylic is fine, the case is fine. I haven't had any of those weird defects with the color rubbing off like you've seen in other headlines with the Moonswatch. The most wear and tear probably comes onto the strap itself, and particularly where the Omega logo is. And I can't really recall where exactly this damage has come from. My guess is the chlorine from pools or the hot tub, or maybe even just in the showers rather. But I'm honestly proud of the defects that it has, or the wear and tear it has rather. To me, it's indicative of a watch well worn and well loved. We saw in 2022, when it first released, there were some very popular models that had very high price premiums that have since kind of died down. Those ones that I have in mind are kind of the Tiffany Moonswatch, the Neptune Moonswatch, and just the original one, the kind of black and white grayish one. Those ones had quite a price premium, but they've now since died down, which I think is really good. I don't think you should be purchasing one of these for much over retail at all. Now we're on to the market analysis part of the video, and we're going to break this down into 2 parts. Number 1, who is the watch for? And then number 2, if you're more investment minded, how can you think about the Moonswatch line as an investment? And let's start with number 1, who is the watch for? And here it's Moonswatch, Omega, and Swatch. They've really done a good job in their mission to mass adoption. It's really for everyone. If you have a watch hobby, if you're new to the watch hobby, if you're a man, if you're a woman, if you're a child, if you're older, it's really for everyone. For me, being a bit more of an active person, a bit of an outdoors person, this is my watch I bring to my exercises, but also very much I can bring it to the vacations when I'm out in the summer. It's a very summery watch for me, and I wear it when I'm active. For other people, I can see this, and I see it very much on the wrists of children. They're sporting a little pink one or a little Tiffany blue one. And it's a rather fun thing to show that, this is a family that's a bit more embedded into trends, fashion, culture, but also the watch hobby. I see it on older gentlemen as well that just want a little bit of fun into their collection, while still, paying homage to the original Moonwatch line. So that's rule number 1. If you wear it because you love it, wear it because it's fun, wear it because it serves you, and throughout your days, your life, through your adventures. Number 2 now, going into the investment side track of things. Personally, I don't necessarily condone supporting it as an investment, but let's take it for what it is. This is a bioceramic plastic quartz swatch. If you're anything into the world of swatches, you know that there are some swatches out there more collectible and more higher in price than some Rolexes. So to think about it in an investment mindset is not necessarily wrong. No, it's not wrong to think about it as an investment at all. It's just not how I personally think about it. That being said, if you do, there is, history to rely on to say that, there is the possibility that some of these Moonswatches will end up appreciating spectacularly in price, still to be determined on that outcome. So with that being said, within the universe of Moonswatch watches, I do believe there will be some in the lineup that will be considered higher desirability, more collectible, higher price than others. The one I'll point to as the example is not biased, but the original Moonswatch lineup. Simply for being the first, I think they will command a bit of a premium if these are ever to evolve into an investment grade quality tier of watches. simply for being the first. They set the milestones, they set the expectations, they set, you know, the trend and the emotions behind it in terms of what the Moonswatch line is about. Then there are some that came out that are really not really good. And I'm thinking about the ones that look rather black and white with just, you know, the tiniest of modification to the chronographer hand to make it gold or to have some strawberry imprint on it. I don't really like those. The later ones, the ones that they've released more recently, those ones have been making quite an impression on me, and I want to say the watch community. And I think those ones will have a bit higher collectability than at least the strawberry one. And, you know, this really just brings me to my main point, which is that sure, you can collect in these to invest in it, but when you're investing in it, you're not necessarily investing in a complication, a pedigree, into that sense. They're all the same. It's the same movement, it's the same pedigree, it's not going anywhere. The real thing that really changes is just the colors, the design. And to that point, I actually really do support the mission of the Moonswatch in terms of making watch collecting fun again. You're not caring about the quality of the movements. You're not caring about, you know, the tiniest adjustment to the size of the lugs in this model versus next year's, like you'll do in, like, you know, a Rolex Submariner. Really, you're just caring about the colors, the dials, the design. You know, what is the most fun Moonswatch they can make out there? And, you know, they have made some that are slightly different in complication, but the truth is the same. You're collecting them because they're fun. And I think that's the same kind of ethos of swatch collectors in general. They collect swatches not because of their movements, but because they're fun. And they represent a piece of themselves, maybe, you know, a bit of their personalities, but also this is just something that, you know, is something that speaks to them. And that's something that certainly is true with me. This watch very much speaks to me. So I'll leave the video at that. You know, you can think about it as a collection, you can think about it as an investment, you can think about it as something for fun. It can be all three as well at the same time. It just serves different crowds. And that really is the versatility of the Moonswatch. Do I think Moonswatch, Omega, and Swatch are wrong to create more? No, I think that's part of their mission. Their mission to mass adoption requires them to create more Moonswatches. It would be against their mission to stop and to make them more scarce. So if this video is any indication for you, I am a wholehearted supporter of the Moonswatch craze. Maybe not of some particular designs, which I think are more lazy than others, but in general, the ethos of it, it represents things that I'm very proud to wear on my wrists, hence why I'm wearing one right now. Yeah, and this has been another Calvin on Time video, so, you know, I hope you've enjoyed this one. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll have some more videos for you coming up soon. Take care.